Hey guys, a little bit of an update regarding the Tru-oil of the body for the Telecaster. Now, after about 10 coats, the colour was good, but the pores weren't very well filled, and once it dried, it actually showed up a lot more. Now, I was reading somewhere you can actually wet sand with Tru-oil, and I thought I'll give it a go. Now, this is about 3 coats and wet sanded to a 800 grade. I'm just going to do another coat at 1200 just to show basically how it's done. It's really quite simple. All the normal rules of sanding apply, so make sure you sand with a grain. Don't use too much pressure. Let the sandpaper do all the work for you. Now, always keep a rag handy, because I find when you're pushing around the first part, the oil seems to go down the edges quite a bit, but so far it's been a very successful experiment because all the pores seem to be very well filled now. So I'm just going to do a quick show you how I did the wet sanding. Now I just pour a little bit on the body. Again, you want to keep the coats as fit as possible so they dry nice and flat. Now I'm using a cork sanding block on this one because you need to keep it as flat as possible. Now you want to have a little bit of a grip on it because when the Tru-oil gets sticky it does move around a little bit. Again, this is not needed if you want to keep an open pore finish, but I wanted to make this as smooth as possible. So yep, it's not hard. I just try to get the paper as evenly wet as possible. So that's pretty much perfect. And just go back and forth all over the body. Be careful of the corners. I find that you don't move that much oil around to the corners, so they do seem to be a bit dry. But this is all you do for the wet sanding. Be very careful wet sanding with water, because if the water gets into the holes or the cavities, wood can swell, and when wood swells it can be absolutely disastrous. But with Tru-oil you don't seem to have that problem. Now it's a little bit dry there on the body contour, so I'm just going to put a little bit of oil there just to get a good constant coat. Now let's be careful, because as I said, I find that the corners and stuff like that don't get that much. Always check to make sure you haven't dripped on the side. If you find you're getting drips on the side, it usually means you're using too much. So just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And some people do it up to 1200. I don't go that fine in this stage. I find the 2000, this is 1200, sorry, the 2000 is better for a quick buff over or wet sanding at the end. So this is all you got to do, guys. Just keep going back and forth, and again try to use something flat. I use a sanding block, because if you use your fingers you get ripples. So there we go, that is it. Just keep doing that basically until all the grains are filled and there is no dry spots showing. It is really that simple. As I said, you don't have to do this if you are going excuse me, for open pore, but I wanted to get more of a glass finish on this one. So now I've got to let this sit after probably one more coat for about 2 weeks, and I'll move on to the other parts. So hopefully this has helped on how to wet sand Tru-oil, and I'm just going to sign off from there and carry on. So hope that helps. It does make it a little bit more glossy as well. Anyway, I will be back to you with neck and tuners.